switch on, like Hanoi's old streets. You keep pulling me in. I crave you like morning for can't let you go. Tell myself I'll slow down, but my heart says no. I got a problem and I'll fix it. Riding through psych on your face in my mind. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my coffee addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, sweetest rush. Dream of you by the Saigon River every single night. Your smile's like the lanterns glowing in Hawaiian's light. No, I should stay grounded, but you're pulling me high. My heart's on a motorbike, chasing you till I fly. I got a problem, and I'll fix it. Riding through the markets, your voice in my head. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my buy me a midnight addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, sweetest rush. Ain't no doubt, doubt, doubt. So caught up, oh, ain't no doubt. So caught up over you, over you. Because of you, and it's all because of you. Never get enough. You're my sweetest rush, and I know this much is true. Baby, you, I'm on me constant sunset addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough. My sweetest rush. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. Never get enough. You're my sweetest rush. All we do is chase the road, baby. All we do is chase the road, yeah.
Yeah, Vietnam's got my heart, girl. Let's ride till the sun comes up. Pack my bag, hit the streets, I know it's calling me. Motorbike through the chaos, your smile's my only key. From Saigon's neon lights to Hoi An's lantern glow. Every mile I'm with you, girl, that's all I need to know. Riding through the rice fields, wind in my face is true. Every turn, every town, I'm lost in thoughts of you. Phone stalls at midnight, we share a bowl, no plans. Yeah, your laugh's my compass, guiding me through this land. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. From the delta to the hills we go. All we do is live this nomad life. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. Every night another town we flow. All we do is live this nomad life. Long bay at sunrise, your eyes outshine the sea. Backpack's light, but miles heavy when you're next to me. The lights misty trails, we're dancing in the rain. No roots, no chains, just you and me, no pain. Street vendors calling out, buy, sell, sizzles low. We share a fleeting moment, then it's time to hit the road. From Campos floating markets to his ancient walls. You're my adventure, baby, you're my reason for it all. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. From the delta to the hills we go. All we do is live this nomad life. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. Every night another town we flow. All we do is live this nomad life. Running wild, no stopping now. Motorbike vibes through every.
Hopefully this is working. Hey guys, welcome back. Let me fix up some shit here. Wrong camera. 4K, baby. And is the microphone working or are we on some bullshit again? Oh, we are good. Nice. Dude, I look a mess. Look a mess. Dude, I do. What happened to me? I used to be so handsome. Hold on. We gotta fix that little Superman sideburn thing. Can't be happening. What is going on with it? Alright. Alright, I think we're good. Guess who's back, baby? What is going on with my hair? Look like I got a hairline issue. Like professional, do I? No hairline issue. I am naturally handsome. Here, let's try this. We'll do the pre-high school hairstyle. Oh. What we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do, how's that? It's alright. Anyways. How you guys doing today, man? I'm glad to have you here. Let me fix this camera a bit. It's a little low. I ended up getting another camera and some other stuff, so the quality should be better. I should be more handsomer than ever, as the kids say. So today we're going to be talking about Roth IRA, Silva, Fidelity, XA, gold, 99, cash and dividend, 39%. So somebody was sending me, I'm helping some people with their Fidelity accounts. I got this new niche, I guess, and it was given to me. I didn't adapt, I didn't like create it, but I've been helping people in their 40s, 35, 40-year-olds in America that are trying to figure out how to like set up like investment because they're like 20 years late, right? So it's been interesting, man. XLA, Pharrell, MSCI real estate, interesting. Silver and gold, cool. I didn't need to close that. So today we're just gonna talk about some basic stuff about Vietnam. Nothing too sporadic. There's been some changes that have been quite interesting, but nothing that's not obvious at this point. Studio live stream, Vietnam Brave, is it this? Yeah. So, yeah, there are things going on. The big one we're going to talk about today, and it's not that big, but it's something, is a SIM card. The SIM card, this whole process, 1 month, 30 days, 90 days, shut off. This whole process is kind of interesting because this is for Vietnamese people, so it doesn't officially affect foreigners extremely because it's about switching SIM cards. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Let's go to see what we got. District 1, whoa, Mesquite. Sun, food, and beer. Vietnam is perfect. It is not perfect. Imagine coming to Vietnam with Western shit. Eating Western, that's pretty much Western food. That's not how it looks in real Vietnam. I mean, yeah. It's actually really hard to find that beer now. Like, that used to be the big beer back in Bui Vinh days. Yeah, all westernized. Where's all the trash, bro? This ain't Vietnam. It's kind of, it's cool. They're having a good time, but yeah, like they're definitely showing like a 4-star hotel. That's kind of hard to say. This is what Vietnam looks like. Like, get out of your comfort zone, bro. When did the Social Republic of Vietnam adopt the Allies' right hand over the heart flag salute? Vietnam is not a socialist nor a republic nation, for one. And I think this is because of just international reasons. We'll look at some of the comments. I'm sure they're retarded. Did my mouse just die? Are you serious right now? Fucking hell. Come on, really? That means I gotta unplug the camera for a bit. Okay, we are on the small. Hold on, guys. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Gotta have my mouse. So everything's annoying. I haven't charged my mouse in like a week, so it's kind of expected. Give me a sec there. And I like how they're just putting it to America. Yeah, right here. Because the Western athletes do it, Olympics does it. What's going down with the other mouses off? How many mouses can I lose in a minute? Dude, look how Vietnam has adopted so much Western culture and capitalism. Vietnam is not socialist. So don't actually, yeah, Vietnam is not social. Like, if anything, top dog figure socialist is no longer working. Vietnam has never been a socialist country. Do people really think it is? Like, serious question. Do people truly feel that Vietnam is a socialist nation? Socialism is the idea of collectivism, right? And distributing it back out to the people. That doesn't happen at all. Can we fucking work? Nothing ever works here. Here in the rock studio. All right, we're finally back. All right. Vietnamese are Vovid now. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know. It seems like this is like rage bait. Like, it's not, Vietnam is not a republic nation at all. There is nothing republic about Vietnam. In democratic, like, government terms. Socialist? No. Vietnam is not at all. So it used to be before they unified, aka destroyed the South with force. But yeah, Vietnam is not a socialist or republic. Anyways, Vietnamese dish you might not have known. This stuff is garbage. It's like water, spinach, and piss. I'm sorry, dude. Just let Vietnam arrive back home last night. This guy write poetry. Vietnam does not have good food. Yeah, this is weird. Unusable sidewalks, hellish traffic. I'll take crisp air any time of day. The coffee is good though. The traffic moves like the river. Meanwhile, like, the number 5 reason why Vietnamese die every year is because of traffic. Yeah, I think this is just like random poetry. Can you please name the food dishes? Banh Si, yeah. The thing about Banh Si is you can, I don't know, man, if you live out here, you just know, right? Like, if you're a professional software developer, right? And you look at somebody's code, within seconds, you know if it's poorly written or not, right? It's the same idea. This isn't how it looks. Ever. Like, this does not look like Banh Si you'd pick up at, like, in Vietnam. This is definitely like a street market, or like a nice hotel. Yeah, resort. Yeah, it's a bit different from the rest of Vietnam. Yeah, welcome. Beware, son. You're hanging around a resort. Yeah, this is kind of a thing. Like, dude, I'm telling you, like, looking at different countries, Cancun, fucking amazing, man. That's where my mother had her they renewed their vows back in the day, right? Fucking beautiful, bro. But do not leave the resort. You'll probably get kidnapped. Places like China, like, there's a lot of good spots out there, but the moment you leave like those designated areas, yeah, it gets pretty rough. It's the same with like a lot of Vietnam's the same too. Ha Long Bay is a big one. Like, Ha Long Bay is probably one of the biggest disappointments I have about Vietnam, like within cities. But it's also the most surprising because Ha Long Bay, when you get there, you drive through that roundabout, you pass the pier, and then you get into the actual city, like, you know, the hostels and shit like that. It's got all the San Francisco hills and shit. It's not bad. Like, I wouldn't recommend being there more than a day or two at most. But when I lived there for about 7 months, I was on the other side where the Ferris wheel is. And it was just horrible. The people were degenerately rude, loud. It was just chaos. And this is kind of like how a lot of these like resorts are like wherever this resort is. The food, dude, this is some of the best banh si I've ever seen. It's thick too. I love that. No, this is definitely not normal Vietnamese food. The Four Horsemen. Oh, they got all of them up in here. Yeah. Philip, what's up, man? Vietnam is becoming what William S. Burton called a society of control. I think it's going past, I think it's already went past that stage at this point. Said Four Horsemen. This dude does the Power Rangers with 5. Math is hard. Grab is still my MVP of getting me home after I'm drinking. I just noticed that. Why did they do the photo twice? It's kind of weird. Shopee, they give you the guy who charges you a premium subscription. I've never done the subscription things with Grab and all that. The guy who thinks he's a genius because he only lets you use one promo code at a time. Sans SM, fuck Vid Group, fuck him. Wait, this dude does not deliver now. The food does the food delivery now. Yeah, I don't. This is a Vid Group. Interesting. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. But yeah, like the Society of Control. Yeah, I'm quite aware of that reference actually. But yeah, Vietnam's going way beyond that at this point. But the idea, like, I don't know if you were here a minute ago when I was looking at this guy said the Social Republic of Vietnam putting their hand over their chest. They just do that because everyone else does it. But the idea that Vietnam is a republic is completely a farce. It's not. There's only really been 2, America and Rome. I'm not saying they're better or anything. It's just there's only been 2, right? It's kind of like saying how many communist nations are there in the world, right? By definition, there's X number of them, right? You can't just like start randomly throwing countries into the bowl. Yeah, Vietnam is 100% not republic at all, and it's not a socialist country. Like the social programs and the social system of Vietnam is it's a one party communist nation at this point, right? Even the party is now controlled. The party and the state are now controlled by a single person, which is similar to China, North Korea. The fuck was that? I guess you could even see Venezuela to an extent, because that president, well, he was just dictating the country to the ground. Questions about growing mustaches, beards, goatees for Viet guys. Vietnamese dudes take like 6 years to grow fucking facial hair when they're an adult. At all. Yeah, dudes don't grow mustaches, man. What is this? It's a bottle, bro. Fortnite tours. Vin Group's 1,000 Tesla Viet. Jesus, dude. Vin Group needs to just crash. Hi, Hanoi and Hai Zang Trip. I think it's kind of it for this shit. The proportion of available shares, trade volumes is instantly low. See, this is a problem. Vin Group is, by definition, bankrupt. I mean, well, not by definition, but in theory. If, like, let's just say hypothetically, the Vietnam government, the VCP, they're like, hey, we are going to take Vin Homes from you, Vin Group. If they did that, Vin Group as a whole would collapse. Like, VinFast, VinSchool, VinUni, VinMex, all of these organizations that they've developed under Vin Group name are all losing money every quarter, like massive amounts. VinFast loses something like 3.8 billion USD every year. Like, loses. And I know people might say, well, it's a new company. Everybody loses money up front. No. You're not understanding. This isn't like Tesla was losing money for 4 or 5 years trying to get their one car, their Roadster out there. This is Vin Group, VinFast, generating cars that cost $15,000 to develop, you know, with marketing and all that shit included, right? And they're selling them for $8,000. And they have to because they can't even sell them. Nobody wants them. Europe, Australia have already refused VinFast as a company. So if the government decided to take VinHomes out, yeah, Vingroup would collapse tomorrow. VinHomes is the only thing making money. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme because it fucking. What is this about? Hold on. Let's check the article. VinHomes in general is a Ponzi scheme. Vingroup's 1,000% surge test limits of Vietnam's market boom. There's all this shit. Takeaways. Vingroup's joint sector collaboration stock has risen 1,000% from the start of 2025. Blah blah. No, like even Vingroup, the what is his name? Something Pham. The owner of Vingroup had his stock ticker pulled off the New York Exchange because they found out he owned like 85% of the actual stock. So it wasn't fair to the point where he could rug American investors, right? Because he owned the entire fucking stock. Aggressive retail buying, improving prospects. Vietnamese real estate sales are on a massive decline this and last year. Global money, and that's the thing too. Last year, the Q4 last year, real estate went up something like 300% out of nowhere, right? This was at the same exact time Hanoi and a lot of parts of Saigon were displacing people, removing them from their homes by force and making them go somewhere else. So these families had to buy or rent new property, right? So it's kind of one of those things, like it's kind of like an after effect of the result. People, thousands of people were being displaced. They were being forced to buy new property. And in that same window, there was a surge in real estate. You know, is it a correlation? Maybe, maybe not. But 6 bill. But yeah, all of this is like, this guy's a fuck. This guy's useless, man. He's literally scamming Vietnam for everything he can. There's like no level of respect for Vingroup. And again, like just VinPearl. Like look at the Vingroup part estimate. This is a big part of it. 150K VND per share through VinHomes. VinFast, $3, 20, 40, 60, what, 70,000? Literally half. Why is this one only in USD? That's actually a good question. Why did they only put, maybe because it looks bigger. I wonder if they did that on purpose. You guys notice that, or is it just me? Everything is in VND except VinFast. VinFast is not an international company. Tamil Nadu, India. These cars out here are only being made for Indian people. It's not being like pushed out. A dystopian system where power is exercised not through traditional disciplinary institutions, but through surveillance, media manipulation. Do you not think Vietnam is a dystopia? Vietnam is a dystopia. And on top of that, you got these people that are like trying to sell this dream. And we're going to talk about Evan today. This actually came up a couple of days ago because I've been kind of laughing at this guy, Army Travel guy or whatever his name is, because he's a really bad shill. But somebody brought to my attention about Evan. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it says a lot about Vietnam is what it's going to come. It's not really directly about Evan. But yeah, Vietnam is a dystopia. It would be easier to prove me right than to prove me wrong on that statement. It's been a dystopia for what, like, I mean, honestly, since COVID ended, like, and this is for the Vietnamese people side. Obviously, for foreigners, it doesn't really affect a lot of people. Because remember, after the pandemic lockdowns were over, people were like, I can't wait to get my 30-day e-visa, right? That was the big thing. And people came out here with their, American, Canadian, New Zealand passports, had their USD. Everything was fine. Everything was actually really good. But the people were already being locked. Like, the Vietnamese people in general did not get out of the COVID lockdowns until probably maybe a year after it was officially removed, because they were still being locked down, and the government never ever released a lot of the mandates that they put on the people, right? So a lot of this was surveillance based. A lot of this was like how they had to do like weekly meetings. So all companies over 50 employees have to have a Monday meeting where they kind of like go over the government regulation. You know, it's pretty much like child shit. This is still a thing at this point, and now it's linked to V and EID, which is crazy. Grown adults have to go to a little classroom. This is your leader. But yeah, VidGroup's a joke. Blumenberg trying to get on the, yeah, like honestly, never, ever, ever, ever invest. That sounds good. Ever invest in anything in like Vietnam. There's really the only thing you should ever invest into Vietnam is FDI if you're trying to open like an assembly factory. But do not buy their stock. Do not buy into their startups. Don't. It's not worth. None of them have ever ended well. Even VidGroup pretty much rugged Americans and European investors, right? And then in Vietnam, VidGroup is rugging its own government, right? Like, there's nothing about the VidMilk. That used to be a big thing to invest in back in the day. It's a scam. It's all a scam. Because the issue with this is why nobody, like Europe and America, don't recognize Vietnam Stock Exchange, is because the government has control over the manipulation of it. And this is a proven, everybody knows this shit in Vietnam. It is no one. So if there's a point where there's a spike and people start selling up mass, the government will literally freeze the exchange. This has happened a few times. This happened with I forgot the name, VitaMilk. I think it's called VitaMilk. VitaMilk has something like, it was something like a 900% surge or some crazy shit. People started selling up mass. The government locked the stock exchange, refused people, right? And then the bits dropped, and then everybody lost money, and then they opened it back up again. And they've been doing this for decades. Tesla is profitable. It would actually be great cooperation if VinFast weren't billion. Yes, VinFast wasn't billion. And this is like too. The owner of VinFast, he invests. He takes out state bonds through Vietnam every quarter, 3 months, and he throws it into VinFast. Why would he have to do that every quarter for the last like 3 years? Haha, tell that to Tesla. The market. Oh my God, dude. Every time. America bad. It's like, maybe it's because America is the greatest country on earth, the most powerful country on earth, that everybody just tries to find it. Because I see this out here in Cambodia. A lot of these Westerners, and a lot of them aren't even Americans, but they just attack everything about America. Everything. I think it was a couple days ago, I was talking, there was these Turkish guys going on about Islamophobia or some shit like that in New York. I'm like, oh, they see a Muslim, they think they're going to start doing shit. And I found this thing. Let me show this to you, because this was actually, I'm not going to say my thought, but watch this. So this Muslim, apparently this was a prank in New York City, right? So Muslim man screams, Allah Akbar, and throws a bag into New York subway. Instant panic. People immediately start running in fear for their lives, as they probably should. We never forgot. Understandably so, it can be felt there was a boom boom. He just stands there thinking it's funny. Then he wonders why no religion group causes this level of fear. And this is true. You never see a Christian or a Jew or a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness running into a bus or a building screaming, and everyone's like, we're all going to be like, dude, you all right, man? You need a doctor? This happens, and it was just crazy because the guy was going on about like how Americans just hate. This is like, no, it's unfortunately a stereotype. Look at the Middle East, but this is crazy. Like, is this Islamic phobia, or is this common sense? Some dude in there screaming for God, throwing a black bag, like, oh, fuck you guys, I'm out of there, bro. I don't give a fuck. Look at Pakistan. Look at Iran. It's all the same religion. It's craziness though, man. But that's kind of the shit that goes on. And I find that these people they always try to dunk on America. Like, oh, America, they're so bad. Trump's bad. Biden's good. America destroys the world. And it's the capitalist fight. I always get these capitalistic fights out. This is something I'll tell you guys about Cambodia. Is in Cambodia, you're going to deal with a lot of older people. that are consistently trying to push a political conversation. And it's so annoying. You know, like this is a big reason. Like I talk to Cambodian people. I've been making a lot of friends with because a lot of the Cambodians do the English out here is quite good. So I've been making a lot of Cambodian friends. There's actually a lady next door I talked to. She makes this like Cambodian soup. It literally tastes like pho. It tastes better than Vietnamese pho, really. But we sit down like every couple of days and just talk about random shit. She talked about her kids. I talk about Bop. Talk about fitness. You know, stuff like that. And then her husband will come by sometimes. But yeah, when it comes to foreign, it's always like that. It's so fucking weird, you know. And it was a couple of days ago. I was trying to say a second ago, is they were going on about capitalism, like how it's so bad. And I'm like, bro, how many millionaires are made in America that are black? How many millionaires in America have been made that are Arab, that are Jews, that are Chinese? Way more than any of those communist fucking countries, right? Communism, they just cut your head off. General Mao. Come on, guys. It's so crazy to me. And you know, and I don't agree with everything with America. They got their flaws. Hell yeah, they do. CIA, watch out. Oh shit. But I get it. But yeah, Philip said perfect. It's escapes. It's a scapegoat. It's always like America bad. It's just shut the fuck up. Not you, Philip, but I mean like these people. And it's like they're talking about VinFast being billions dead. This is a factual claim. Statement. I've said this for the last year and a half. I actually got put onto a lawsuit from Vingroup a year and a half ago from Vingroup. Because I was criticizing them publicly. It was me and like 60 other people. They ended up dropping the whole thing because it was just insane. It was just stupid. Like, what is that black dude's name? Hold on. Because this guy was on the lawsuit too, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw his name there. VinFast Review. Hold on. Where's that black dude? This guy right here. I believe he was on the lawsuit too because I saw his first name and I think his name is Marcus. If that's his name, I think that was him. But they labeled him as an American car reviewer. But we all got put on this list for it. But so this is a true statement. And the first thing I see is tell Tesla that. You know what's crazy about Tesla? It's owned by an African American. That's the funniest part. A real African American. Not because he's white or black, it's because he literally was born in Africa, right? So weird. Tesla recently reported $477 million net worth income for the first quarter. VinFast, a net loss of $3.9 billion the full year. Well, you know, because hold on, because Trump gave them tariffs or shit. Yeah, okay. We got a decent reply. Tesla is profitable, yeah. What is this? VicVN. What is VicVN? Victoria Plumbing Group. The fuck is this? It's down either way. What are we looking at? Sounds like a Ponzi. Like Vingroup is a Ponzi scheme. You know what's crazy? The owner of Vingroup and the owner of Sun Group both were partners in Ukraine. They were selling like some knockoff noodles for a while before they came back to Vietnam. Or came to Vietnam. The NASDAQ also has breakers when it dumps hard. So yeah, it does. Like I understand that there will be because digitally they have to because it'll like break out the system. I get that. In Vietnam's exchange though, they'll do it when they see fit. It's not that it's free falling. It's not that it's going up too fast. It's just like they're like stop it, and then out of nowhere it's like overnight changes. I don't know, man. I don't trust. This is the thing: is the New York Stock Exchange, the European Exchange, they are regulated by the government, but they're not controlled by the government, which is a massive difference. The VCP controls the stock exchange in Vietnam. It's not good. It is a scapegoat for losers, yeah. And again, I understand some people don't like America. That's great. We all have our. I do not like Vietnam I don't like the entity of Vietnam. Like the power of Vietnam. I don't agree with it. It is a North Korean level dictatorship. There is no longer a two-state communist system no more. It's one person runs it all. He runs the state and the federal level, right? I don't agree with that shit, but some people do. To your own. But when all that people could do is attack America for everything. I went back to America and ate, man. I had some food. I was like, man, I bet you got fat because Americans are fat. It's like, what? There are more health fitness people on YouTube that are Americans than there are all of Asia. Right? Americans got fat people, sure. This is something I hear a lot too, is Americans are all fat. You know, Vietnam's obesity rate increased 46% last year. It was something like 30% higher than America did that last year. And it was double Thailand. So we want to talk about obesity. SpaceX IPO. Whoa. Seriously? Hold on. Anything Elon's in, I'm buying, bro. SpaceX IPO. Really? What is the volume? Oh, shit. Hold on. I got to message somebody. I need somebody to look into this. Bruh. Give me a second. I appreciate that, Philip. June 12th. That is crazy. You just got me speechless for a second. Dude, anything Elon does, I don't give a fuck what people say about Elon, bro. I don't give a fuck. That dude makes money print. And like during his Tesla, I think it was like, 15 years ago, he split his Tesla stocks in half or some shit like that and redistributed. My Tesla stocks have like skyrocketed. Like I'll never really sell that. Like I really had never have SpaceX though. Jesus. What's up? I never discuss politics when I'm abroad. That's kind of the issue though, and I usually don't either. But in Cambodia, it's like everybody, that's all they want to talk about. Hey, how's the weather? Oh, it's been nice today, bro. It's hot. Went out for a run. You know who doesn't run? Trump. And it's just like, what? Oh, you know he stole the election. He stole it from Harris. And then, now Harris is having to deal with all the complications of racism because America's oppressed. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? I ran around a fucking stadium field, okay? I lost 2 pounds. It's so weird out here. That is one complaint I have about Cambodia is the foreigners are overly obsessed with politics out here. And they're not all Americans either. I think the majority of them are not Americans. They're Europeans, Aussies, fucking Canadians, whatever. There is an American guy out here. He lived in China for like 9 years. And he goes on this like, I hate American bullshit, but refuses to give his passport up. Like, these people are weird, man. Why is capitalism bad? It allows us to normalize throughout Asia without working. I mean, if you look at all the other different versions of systems, which one's better? People say socialism is, but America's social system is larger than any other countries in history. It's something like 65% of all federal taxes collected go back to social programs, welfare, unemployment, Social Security, Medicaid, all this shit. Section 8. I mean, it's paying for the poor, it's paying for the retired, it's paying for the vets, right? 60-some%. I think it's like 65%. Vietnam's is barely 2%. And most of that money goes to the military and government officials, right? That's not socialism, man. Not at all. Not at all. These little bastards. Hell, degree legal is... Okay, I think we talked about this yesterday. First time traveling... Rent a car. Never rent a car, dude. You will get scammed so fast. Yeah, this will be the last one we look at here. I'm from India. This is false. So, these people don't know anything about anything. They just say stupid shit. According to the 1968 conventional laws and systems, you can't do this. Shut the fuck up, man. So, In Vietnam, if you go there's a department in Hanoi, Saigon, and Da Nang, I believe, just recently opened it like 3 months ago. You go in there with your driver's license, the government will convert your home driver's license, being American, Indian, Thailand, whatever, into a driver's license in Vietnam for an automobile, a car, and it lasts up to the expiration of your visa. It costs, I believe it costs like $18, $20 or some shit like that. You can do this. The motorbike license, you cannot do this. The reason I say car is because this guy says he wants to rent a car. Rent a car. You can't do this. This is actually false. Yes, you can. Yeah, see, like these people don't even understand the rules, man. I can help you plan DMB. That doesn't sound like a scam about to happen. Most come with the driver. Yeah, so if you want to drive a car, you can. You just got, it takes like, I think like 4 or 5 days to get it all done. There's agents that'll actually do this for you, but yeah, it's something like $20. But when it comes to the motorbike, you can't do this. The car, you can. So, what do we got? Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec here. Plumbing. I don't even know what we're looking at. Why do expats? This is like some Russian dude. He's massive propaganda. I found us a shill. Oh, here we go. Being black in Vietnam. Can't wait for that video to come out. Okay. Yeah, so kind of a summarization. We'll just summarize this because it's like auto
A
done.
taxi, stuck in traffic at sunset.
Sounds pretty bad.
Surrounded us.
So ideally, what this is this is a very large Vietnamese propaganda guy. His viewership is strictly Vietnamese. So yeah, traffic is inconsistently silence to be quiet is an issue, and food and safety. Like this is crazy. Like food and safety, traffic, and noise pollution. Foreigners come here, they don't like it, so they leave, right? Like that's I don't see the problem with that. And when we look at some of these comments, like we Vietnamese have a saying, when in Rome, do as Rome. No, that's actually a Roman phrase, you retard. This means that you visit my home, great. So we can drive around like animals, push old people, pee all over the streets, and of course throw trash all over because the government will pick it up when in Rome, right? Like these types of comments and stuff. You imagine if a foreigner went to Vietnam and just started acting like a Vietnamese person, throwing trash on the ground, yelling at everybody, speakerphone, hello, karaoke in residential areas. Like, that would just be funny.
I've got some questions.
Here we go. Thanks, AI. I can't do it. Yeah, I don't know, man. These black in Vietnam videos are just dumb.
Of the name that you can find on Facebook.
Does she say anything important or intelligent or? I know, like people are gonna get angry at me like I'm some lunatic racist now. It's just such a dumb thing. Like there's this African. I think he's from Nigeria. Yeah, I think he's from Nigeria. Let me double check. He's a black dude that lives in China, and this dude has such a hard time. Like he does these black in China, and dude, it's crazy. Like he'll be walking, and kids will call him the N word. It's actually crazy. But yeah, if you want to talk about like racism, man, China is like the one. Because when you watch these, Africa versus America and China, I'm confused on what that's supposed to mean. What is that? Is that a woman? Sorry. Well, that's the guy that has the. Okay. But yeah, it's a very interesting thing. If you guys want to see racism, like this type of shit is dumb. Vietnam doesn't really discriminate because Vietnam doesn't have a history of black people. Like literally none. Africans, black Americans, black Europeans, they don't have a history. Their history is with France and China. Way before America, Germany, Japan. Oh, no, Japan's been involved, but yeah. So when they see black people, they're typically grabbing their skin or their hair, like, oh, what happened? And it's funny, if you meet a South African, a white guy, right? And the Vietnamese kids at the schools, there's a ton of South Africans that used to work in Saigon when I worked there like 8-9 years ago. And the kids would be like, where are you from? Where are you from, teacher? You know, typical question. And they'd say South Africa, and everyone would be like, you're not black, right? It's just the ignorance of Vietnam. Now, there is a stereotype hiring teachers sometimes, because they want a white face to represent the school. The reason for this is the mindset of Vietnam is English comes from America and France. This is what they think, right? Like, this is the mindset that they teach Vietnamese. This isn't what I'm telling you as a fact. It's what they preach. It's what they live by. So when they see a black person, they don't think English. When they see a Vietnamese American coming to Vietnam, they also have a hard time. I think Vietnamese Americans, Vietnamese Australians and all these Vietnamese that are born abroad have a harder time getting teaching jobs in Vietnam than a black person would because they see a Vietnamese and just think that it's a Vietnamese person. Even their salary is it's a battle sometimes. When I worked at EMG, there was 3 Vietnamese Americans that worked in the science department, and they always had trouble. And it wasn't with EMG. EMG, in all due respect, did the best they could, right? It was the parents coming. It's like, why is our science or English teacher Vietnamese? We pay for a foreigner. And they'd be like, he's from California, dude. But look at him, right? It's always that perception. So the idea of like these black in Vietnam videos, I find them stupid. And I find it like victim mentality, like, oh, I'm in Vietnam and I'm black, victim card. Dude, I can never walk the streets of Vietnam ever again, can I? If it's not the government coming after me, it's gonna be one of these fucking YouTubers just throwing rocks in the back of my head. But yeah, that's just part of the game in Vietnam. Like Asia is a different world. Like a lot of these people come from America or, fucking Africa, Canada, Australia, and they assume that, okay, the culture's different. They use chopsticks because they're weird, or they take their shoes off, and all this different stuff is going on. But they're still gonna, be modern when it comes to like race differences and stuff like that. And they're not. Like Vietnamese and Chinese are some of the most racist people I think I've ever met. And the racism really lies within different cultures. Vietnamese hate Koreans. They hate Chinese people with a fucking passion. They hate the opposite side of their country. So if you're talking to a Saigonese, you ask them why Hanoi people are so much nicer, they will fucking slap you. And they will yell at you. They'll start telling everybody you're a spy or some shit, right? Like it'll turn into a chaotic day. But when it comes to like Vietnamese hating like people based off race, like white people or Jews or blacks, they don't care at all. So when I see these like videos being black, like shut the fuck up. A black woman. Like this is a victim card. This lady's looking for praise. She's fishing for the compliments, right? She's trying to get something out of this because this is low level, low IQ shit. Again, when I walk through Vietnam, I'm probably going to get a rock thrown at me by one of these people. You fucking hater, David. I think it would be fun to have like a YouTube meetup in Saigon where all the creators came together. I'll walk in there and be like, "What's up, bros? What's going on, bros?" Because this is the thing, though. I understand I'm rash. I'm aggressive. Sure, that's fine. I'm more handsome than they are. I get it. But no, seriously though, there's nothing these people can push back on, right? Remember, like, what were the recent things? I remember Evan came in our chat like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and I was calling him out for just doing chat GTP nonsense. He just says whatever you want to hear. He's in there, look at this loser, right? Army guy was going on about a Russian dude attacking a taxi driver, ignoring the fact that the number 5 reason Vietnamese go to the ER or die is because of auto accidents, and this guy got hit by a fucking Vietnamese taxi driver. I understand why he attacked him. He shouldn't have, but I understand it. Army guy's like, no, you don't like it. Like, these people are so dumb. It's like, I don't get it. Dumb, bald, overweight, taking videos in strip bars with 19-year-old girls. I don't even call these women. They're girls. Like, it's so crazy to me, bro. I don't know. 10% of my long-term portfolio is Tesla. How much? I wonder how much I have. I have a lot, but it's definitely not 10%. I think my main long terms are I have gold is a big. I've been buying gold for like 25 years. Another one that let me bring my desktop over here because I was actually talking to a guy today trying to help. There's this. I talking to this. I'll call him a client, but he's trying to set up his portfolio, and he's 43 and he wants to set his retirement pension up, and he's just now starting. But I got him onto this, which is Fidelity Total Market. I believe if you use Vanguard, it's called VIC, if you guys care. It's pretty much the top 10 players in the entire market. This is always a good thing to just hold on to as a primary. Put into a Roth IRA is a good move till it's pre-tax. But 10% though, no. Yeah. Because I'm thinking I got gold, I got oil. Like, I have a lot of ETFs that, like, I have everything covered. I have everything covered but China. I refuse to buy any stock relative to China. Fuck that place. Because they play games, bro. Every honest YouTuber in Vietnam are complaining about food poisoning and excessive noise everywhere all the time. Yeah, but you're not going to see that, right? You're not going to see, where's that fucker at? You're not going to see this guy ever talk about that. You're not going to see, this guy just stopped making videos. He fell off real fast. I mean, hopefully he's doing some big comeback. Like, he's losing a bunch of weight. He joined like a pickleball tournament or something. Something good's going on. But he's definitely becoming another statistic. Like, he doesn't post any, like, he's eating garbage food still. Garbage. That looks disgustingly processed. Yeah, man, I wish garbage. Street vendor food. Yeah, this guy's like, I wish him the best, but the dude is just falling down that path. But yeah, these types of people, they say what you want to hear. That's all it is. Asians can see black people on social media and think it's good for black image. Maybe. Like, there was a survey that was going on. It was like 5 or 6 months ago in Japan. They were going around interviewing Japanese people what they thought about black people. It was great. It was actually bad. It made you, and it was, what was it called? It's a media YouTube channel. I guess you call it the right wing at this point with that, but it pretty much made Japanese look like they hated black people. But when they started asking, like, one of the final few questions were like, why do you think this? And they all started talking about how they always see an African American or a black European on the train station breakdancing or yelling, or they're on a speaker walking around town yelling at people. They're disrespectful to our culture, right? So I don't know, man. Like, Asia sees the world differently, because you're right. They see everything through social media. So like if you ask a Vietnamese kid about Michael Jordan or LeBron, they're going to get excited. They're like, LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, woo, right? Love it, right? If you ask about this has actually happened to me a few times. You ask a Vietnamese, like, what's your favorite rapper? They'll just start saying the N-word to you. Because they think it's like, They're like, they say it in the music, why can't I say this? I don't understand. It does not flow like water, right? It's I don't know, bro. I don't know. The perception is definitely an issue. This is why I like, what is that guy's name? Enoch, I think his name is. I like this dude. He's a really cool dude. He sets a very strong, positive message for what Vietnamese can learn about, like the Black American community. He's a good dude. But yeah, a lot of it, yeah, it's just chaos, bro. It's chaos, and it's unfortunate too. But yeah, YouTubers being honest won't happen. What else? Building communities highlights the importance of communities sound like brothers and sisters of the nation. When you go across the fucking world and you self-isolate your community. Like, I don't get it. Is this even about Vietnam anymore? Like, I just don't get, why does it, like, you don't see Vietnamese going to America being like, I only hang out with Asians, right? They might join their Vietnamese groups. They'll go to the Chinese market because that's where their traditional food is and stuff like that, right? But they don't, like, isolate themselves to the extremes like this. Like, it's so weird to me, man. And these groups, they come out here and they just start these, like, this sounds, everything I say, it's because I'm going to get pinpointed as like some racist. Because you can't say any. But it's like you go across the world and you just isolate yourself to a certain demographic. I think it's unhealthy. And this is something I noticed in Thailand. When I was out in Thailand, like in Rayong, there's actually a rather large Black community out there. And they don't do this type of shit. Like they don't try to isolate themselves. They're not running around yelling the N-word and attacking and breakdancing everywhere, right? Like they're good people. Seriously. And a lot of them are military. Maybe that's why. They're retired military. So they learned how to, just be normal. I don't know. But yeah, it's weird. Vietnam, I see this all the fucking time. Like even KT does this stuff and it just confuses me, bro. Like you're married to a Vietnamese woman. Apparently, obviously they're not fucking racist. What is this? Just randomly, it's like, we need to check your VPN. But yeah, stuff like this is dumb. Where'd it go? Like coming to Vietnam, the first thing you do is go find an all-black group. That's dumb, dude. No. Go find an expat group with everybody, right? You don't see white people coming to Vietnam and be like, I only hang out with white people. It doesn't happen. Like, I think, like, if we're going to be racist about everything, I think white people are the most demographically spread out. As soon as you see, like, a Scottish dude or an Irish guy or a Canadian or an American go to Asia, they are within the community in minutes. They're like, Sin Chow, motherfucker. What's up, baby? Right? Like, something like this is happening. But a lot of these other groups, they're just, like, immediately isolated. It's so weird to me, man. I don't get it. And it's not hate. I know people are going to be like, he's racist. That's not what this is. I'm honestly very confused why this happens. Because it just isolates and it creates this wall that makes the division between Asian people and I guess Black women very diversely, very, very, very separated, right? At all. And it creates this like stereotype too. Because like again, what is it? The Japanese example I gave earlier. The ones that do interact with the community act fools. They act like fools. Johnny Somalia and all these people act like fools. The ones that are good hide in their communities. So when you ask an Asian dude about a Black dude, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, they crazy. They destroy everything. They're dancing on fucking subways like assholes, right? Like, it's so weird, man. Like, friend of mine, KT, he's a great dude. That's why I'm confused why he does what he does. But hey, I'm stupid. I don't think it's good for Blacks, my bad. No, I agree. I don't think it's good to come to an Asian country and isolate yourself. And then just make content revolved around it. Because every time I see a YouTuber do this, Black and something, It's like, fucking loser. Because the entire video is about being sympathy and shit. They are very loud here in Montreal. You ain't been to New York yet. Yeah, I don't know. And again, this isn't me like trying to sound racist. That's not what it is. It's just, it's very weird to me. Practical tips. Dictionary social norms, noting that some Vietnamese people have less conversational boundaries regarding personal space. Does she not even? I see a lot of these people that don't even understand Vietnam. Vietnam does not have personal space. Cute. She's complaining about how people line up. What the fuck is a line in Vietnam? She advises learning Vietnamese phrases, the currency. Yeah, this lady's an idiot. And it's unfortunate too, because she seems like a nice person, but I don't know, man. Oh, she was in China too. Oh, in Bali. Bale, bale. Maybe it's just a grift. She seems like a normal ass YouTuber, really. And then she has this one video that's just like retarded. So weird. Oh, so this was an interesting one. This guy's never been to China, but he does. This dude just makes up shit. He's never lived in Hanoi. Where to retire in America, but he's from Canada. This guy, he just says whatever people want to hear. But anyways, so we were looking, so I said this before. Let me bring it up real quick because this is going to be important. Army, was it Army guy, right? The fuck is that? What am I looking at? Oh, here it is. So yeah, this guy here, this big bald dude. So this is a guy that has problems with me, and I keep bringing it up because it's funny to me. But the idea is the guy's got 87,000 subs, and nobody watches his content. How do you have 87,000 and you're getting 300, 1K, right? And this is the idea, and it's two things. One, his videos are very degenerate and boring. And they're just boring. He's not entertaining. He's unhealthy, unattractive. Like, he doesn't hit any of the matrix that anybody cares about. And his big, like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 videos before we had a 23, 21, 20, 19, 18. So 19 videos until so 19 videos that he popped off and only one did good. You know what I mean? And we started looking at, one of my friends mentioned this about Evan. They're like, yo, Evan's videos are doing the same. How do I go back? I just want to go to the videos, man. Yeah, so he's got 86.9 subs, and he's kind of in the same boat, 13, 12. I mean, he's doing way better than Army is, but his videos are starting to fall. 118, which is really good. 9, 6, 7, 5 is good. So he's not doing as bad as Army. It is interesting, though, to see, like, a lot of these guys just falling apart. But why is that? Like, the main reason for this is Vietnam's really losing its touch. Like, people are realizing you can't live here. It's uncomfortable for the most part. And, you know, as fun as it sounds, you got to kind of like, well, what is the word? Like, you have to grow up at some point, you know what I mean? Living in Vietnam is it's a challenge. It's fun. It can be fun, don't get me wrong, but it definitely has its, like, moments, I guess. I mean, even his live streams kind of suck. Yeah, I just don't get it, man. So it's what it is. So who else is out there? Delete will travel. Let's see what these guys are all up to. Oh, this guy does lives, right? Funky Donkey. Dude, people keep paying this guy money to meet him. It's so crazy. I fucking love it, dude. People keep paying Will to meet him in an airport. Ow. I got a mosquito bite today. Wait, they brought their whole family here? See, there it is, another Donald joke. We'll have no volume. Well, no volume. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, bro. That's weird. Who else is there? Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about the SIM card thing. Let me bring this up before I forget. Fuck out of here. What is it, a fly on me? Let me move this to English so it makes more sense. Many Vietnam expect Vietnam to become multicultural. Yeah. This is the thing about Asia. Asia is not multicultural at all. In a general sense, Southeast Asia, like you'll get places like Malaysia is actually kind of like and a lot of people kind of have the same idea, I guess. Malaysia is kind of like the America of Asia, where it's got a melting pot of everybody, like different Asian groups within Malaysia, where America is like a little of everything around the world in America, right? Asia is kind of the same idea, or Malaysia is kind of the same idea. But places like Vietnam, no. Place like China, no. Thailand, you'll be all right, but no, you'll never be part of the team. You know what I mean? Lao, you always get looked at. And it's even for, like, I'm not talking about just black people, like white people. Like when I lived in Lai Châu, way northwest of Vietnam, all the time. What's wrong with your skin? Oh, you have hair on your arm, right? Like, because it's just not something these people experience. Like a lot of Vietnamese literally grew up under a rock. Like I'm being facetious, I guess. Is that the word? You know, when somebody's like, you ask about something, like, you been living under a rock, bro? Vietnamese, ideally, outside of the main 3 or 4 cities, have all lived under the rock. So are their parents. So when they see like a black dude or a white dude, they're like, what the fuck? Why are your eyes so big? Right? So anyways, June 15th, changing since. So this ideally is what it's doing is locking down Vietnamese on how they can deal with their phones. Vietnamese are regulated as of last year. They can only have 5 SIM cards under their VIN EID at one time, meaning that if you try to get a 6th one, you'll be refused by the government and the company. You can't have more. And your kid also has to have their own SIM card, right? Now, what they're doing now is if you switch your SIM card to another phone, because I don't know if you guys understand the nuance behind this. If you switch your SIM card to another phone, it can trip up the SIM card on who owns the SIM card, or even location disputing. So if you decide to go against the government verbally, you can switch out the phone, same SIM card, and you can start going nuts with a VPN on, right? And it can kind of cover you up to an extent on what's going on. So now when a Vietnamese person sets up a SIM card or they buy a new phone, they have, 2 hours to switch the phone over. So what this means is they have to go through like Vitel, Mobi, whatever, and they got to do the biometrics, which is linked to their VIN EID. And they have to update their VIN EID on what phone they have. After 2 hours, though, no calls and no SMS messages. So your phone no longer gets like cellular service, right? You still have data. After 30 days, not yet verified, no calls, no texts, no receiving SMS. So at this point, after 5 days since the two-way lock, termination of services. So after 5 days, if you do not verify, you're done, right? So this 100% eliminates buying a SIM card off a street vendor, right? This also requires foreigners to do the biometrics, but it's linked to the passport. But it brings up that idea again. After 95 days, do they cut it, right? And this might be this has been kind of a talk that's been going on. It's the lucky number 95. Don't know if it'll happen though, but this is just another thing that's being locked into the whole, the hell is this? The whole system. So when a local person does this, they have to register their SIM card. They got to go through this process, pretty much dictating. Now, if we're not aware of what this means, anytime you text message, post on Facebook, Zalo, anything like that, it leaves a meta tag of your VIN-EID, so you're tracked, right? If you switch your SIM card, it's gonna it's gonna throw this off sometimes. The idea is the government is able to access all text messages at any time. VPNs are not gonna save Vietnamese people at this point. VPNs will allow Vietnamese to watch Netflix as if they're in America or something like that, right? But it's not gonna cover up what they're saying or what they're doing. So it's going to be kind of, it's an interesting thing they're doing. This starts June 15th, I think it is. Yeah, June 15th. So if you are in Vietnam and you buy a new phone, you have to go to Viettel, whatever, like immediately and get it all switched out. I don't know if the phone service shop will do it for you. Like if you just go to a random, like if you go to a corner shop where you buy like an Oppo phone for like $150, you're going to have to take that phone to Viettel within the next couple hours and get it biometric. So keep that in mind. This isn't really a big deal for expats, foreigners. This really affects Vietnamese because this is actually a common practice, is to switch the phones out. And you'll get a lot of Vietnamese that'll have like you see people always have two phones on them, right? Most can't afford all those phones. So what they'll do is during the day, they'll have the SIM card in the iPhone, right? And during the nighttime, they'll have it into a Nokia phone. They'll switch it out. Just because of the longevity and what they're doing. You'll see Grab drivers do this a lot too. They can't do this no more. Now they have to buy a second phone and a second SIM card, if anything. T maximum. So just a little FY to the Izzy. Travis. Yeah, he hasn't done much in a while either. Who are the other guys? Evan, I think we just looked at this guy, right? This guy's kind of hard to critique because all his videos are pretty bad. The American Dream, again, this guy's not even from America. The American Dream.
So I was reading one of my favorite newsletters.
A VinTech company. World Simple Magazine. Oh, this is like Canadian. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck. I read a lot of investment stuff. I've never heard of that. It says Canada, though. That makes sense, because I don't know shit about Canada. It's... This is funny, bro. This is funny how all YouTubers, even lawyers, are grifting on the same topics day after day. Can you finally do a video about Decree 109? I keep asking this lawyer to do a video about Decree 109. If you guys aren't aware, Decree 109 allows the lowest level of government within an area to remove the certifications of a lawyer as they see fit, meaning that Ken cannot do shit. I bet all the comments are like, fuck America. Yep. Have you seen the pattern of who they are, though? What? This is the one where Army guy tried to like be funny with me. This taxi driver ran over this guy. This guy immediately, like it was him and his girlfriend. He got angry. He slapped the guy. I get his bad behavior. Don't do it. But we have to look at the common denominator. It's always Vietnamese people hitting people with their fucking cars. Why don't we talk about that? Oh, that's racist. The American dream is dead. The cost of raising a child has doubled. It's called inflation, retard. The high earner trap, even households with high incomes can see their financials. See, the problem with this, because this guy is an idiot, he's not American at all. He knows nothing about America because he's an idiot. But the problem in America is we have something called hyperconsumption. Americans are working till their dying days because they're paying off credit cards for shit that they don't need. If you walk the streets of Washington or Oregon or Texas, you know, in the morning, everyone has their garage open. They're sitting in the garage smoking a cigar, cigarette, whatever. You will notice in most American garages, it's full of old Amazon and T-Mobile boxes, right? We just buy shit all the time. If Americans cut their consumption down by half, American life would improve for a lot of people, like in general. We spend too much. 35% of Vietnam's GDP depends on American consumers. Seriously, we buy so much shit in America from Vietnam that it keeps Vietnam afloat as a country. Think about that. And I'm not trying to say America controls Vietnam, nothing like that. I'm just saying that's how much we buy. We buy too much stuff. Way too much stuff. Accidents can be, CJ, what's up, man? Be caused by devices, distractions, driver call. Yeah, sure. Totally agree with you, bro. But there's a problem with Vietnam. Hold on. Before we talked about top 7 reasons people, Vietnamese go to ER. Can you repost that list? See, this is the problem. I understand somebody's on their phone, and this is the thing too. Vietnamese drive with their phones on in their face most of the time. So we can't blame foreigners on that too much. Even if they do it, they're just kind of like adapting, right? But looking at this list, why Vietnamese go to the ER die. Number 5, traffic. There's a common denominator in Vietnam when it comes to traffic-related incidents, is that it's Vietnamese. These foreigners are not the common, they're not even a fraction of anything, right? What he did was wrong, and apparently he's done it a few times, and we found the video during a live stream long time. A black car ran a red light and stopped in front of him, and then his bike hit the car, and then he kicked the guy's door. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and an army can take this and take it to his fucking little obese grave. I understand, right? In this accident, he had his girlfriend on the bike too, and this taxi driver drove over his bike completely, and then came out of the car laughing. The Vietnamese dude came out smiling. I'm sorry, if I'm on my bike and my family's on it, and a taxi driver runs us over 100%, like the entire bike was under the front of his car, and then the guy gets out with a smile? Like this is some kind of customer service? No. I don't agree with the violence, but I understand. I totally understand. Imagine you, CJ, you're on your motorbike in Vietnam, you're just driving down the street, going with the flow of traffic because it's so flowable. And you got your wife and your kid on the bike, and one of these assholes runs you over, or a motorbike runs into you, and then they just take off, or they're like, oops. You just get to sit there and be like, it's okay. You almost killed my daughter, but it's okay. I love your country, right? Like, I understand this stuff. Like, Vietnam driving is just low IQ. And when I hear people say, well, it's because of these foreigners, they can't drive, they need to ban driving. Bro, it's not the foreigners. There's 103, 104 million Vietnamese in Vietnam. And this is the number 5 reason why they die? Nah. Everything else is obesity, smoking, cancer, which is mostly lungs, stomach. Breast cancer is kind of a human commonality. You see this in a lot of countries. Liver, I don't know where that comes from. Mohai Bayo! You know what I mean? But the point being with traffic, the fact that it's one of the top leading reasons Vietnamese die and go to the ER all the time, it is pretty fucking insane. The housing gamble. Many people rely on their homes as their... No. We have a phrase. So I used to do real estate investing in America where I actually live, not this guy. You make the money on the buy. You don't make the money on the sell. When you buy your house, be it an investment or a residential place to live, you get the deal up front. This means splitting the closing costs. This means buying below market value. Whatever the case is, you make your profit when you buy the property, when you finalize the deal, not when you sell it. Because when you buy where you need to be, your sell point is a guaranteed, pretty much a guaranteed profit margin, right? The housing issue, yeah. And Trump's actually, let's get into politics. Trump's actually trying to fix this. And one of the big ways he's trying to do it, he talked about this like, what, 2 weeks ago? He wants to pull back ownership of land from China. China is buying hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland in America, raising cattle, butchering it, doing what a butcher does, and then they're sending it all back to China. And who are the butchers and stuff like that? The cattle, the farmers? Chinese people, not even American people, right? So these things are starting, like Trump's trying to fix, he does good, he does bad. This is one good thing I like, and he's trying to do this, but he's getting pushed back. Again, I think this was last week, they were doing, like 2 weeks ago. But the Democrats are pushing back on Trump, saying he's racist now. Where in China can an American buy land? Nowhere. Isn't that racist too? So weird. Now he has a solution. Well, you can't retire in Vietnam. Okay, and I've talked about this before too. If as an American, because he's not American, he doesn't understand literally anything. America's retirement pension's based off a 35-year window, right? So from the age of 20 to 55. I know they've raised retirement higher. I don't know if they've changed the average of means, but what it means is after you retire, they take 30 of those 35 years, your highest numbers, meaning at the end of the year, your taxes you filed, how much you earned, right? They divide it out. That is your monthly pension check every month. If you live in Vietnam for like 5 years, right? 5 of those 35 years are going to be zeros, right? The US government's going to ignore them, be like, all right, we're just going to take the top 30. If you move to Vietnam when you're like 35, right? You're going to have like 10, 15 years of zeros because you're not making money in America. You're not paying taxes, right? So when you get your pension, you're going to have zeros being divided in there, meaning that your pension when you're a retired age could be ideally like 30 to 60% less because you're not there. So when people tell me retire early in America, in Vietnam, where you can't even retire, 1, you can't. 2, you're jeopardizing your pension if you want one. And 3, you just can't, bro. And what do you even do in Vietnam? You can't, there's no job. You be an English teacher? I mean, you can barely do that. And he also sells this idea of living in Da Nang all the time. Like, live in Da Nang, it's so perfect. He doesn't tell you that he married a Vietnamese woman that has to work to help supply the rent money, right? These people don't tell the full story at all. So if you do think about leaving America to retire, that's fine, do you, homie. But do understand that you're adding zeros to your pension. And it won't be abnormal if you go to Vietnam for 10, like my pension, if I relied on it, is going to be like maybe 60% less. Because I've been an agent for what, 12 years? 13 years, right? My pension's fucked. Even though I made a lot of money back in the day, paid a lot into the system, I have added so many zeros to my final pension that it doesn't matter. So this idea of like retire early, be very careful with this. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying don't do it. But be aware what it means. Because again, this guy tells people to do this, but he doesn't understand America because he's not American. And he doesn't understand if you leave the country for more than 5 years not working, this actually starts pulling from your pension. So if you go to Vietnam for 6 years, that 6th year, you just added a zero to your pension average. Your 7th year, another zero. What do you think 10,000 plus 0 divided by 2 equals? Do the math, right? It's not an average you want to see, right? The 0 does affect you. So keep that in mind. Also, you can't retire in Vietnam. They don't offer it. They never will. Get over it. By shifting one's cost of living to a region where expensive fraction. Honestly, to my American friends, I'm going to say this: stop buying so much shit. Stop hyper consuming. You don't need the newest iPhone. You don't need fucking to sit on Temu on the weekends in your hammock buying every other fucking thing. Tell your girlfriend she don't need 60 pairs of shoes every week. Tell yourself you don't need to go on Steam and buy games because they're on discount that you'll never fucking play, right? Just stop spending money. 35% of Vietnam's GDP is exporting products to America for basic consumer needs. Temu, Amazon, all this stuff, clothes, shoes. Stop buying so much shit. How's that? Imagine every year you could save 20% of your total money because you don't have to like buy a bunch of shit. You could start working less hours. Maybe you don't need a second job. Maybe you could finally tell your wife to be a wife. She can stay home and take care of the family. She doesn't need to work a full-time job while you're sending your kids off to daycare where you don't know what the fuck's going on, right? Just stop buying so much shit. And I know that sounds crazy. And I talked to a lot of friends in New York, a lot of friends in Texas about this. And I asked them about the consumer. They're like, yeah, we actually do buy a lot of random shit we don't need, right? Like, it's random shit. We're not talking about new tires for the car. My other channel, we did a video about people getting car loans. And one trend that I saw was when somebody pays off their auto loan, what do? They trade the car to get a new auto loan for another 7 years. What the fuck? What are you doing? Drive that car to the ground. You paid for it. And you probably paid double because the interest is if you buy a Camry for $40,000, after the interest and your final payment, the car probably costs $70,000, right? Why are you switching it to a new auto? I want the newest version. Shut the fuck up. This is why you're poor. You're poor because you're listening. And when I say you, anybody that's offended right now, you're poor because you listen to idiots like this that have no financial grasp. They have nothing like that. And you're also recycling loans and stuff like that. Massive Diddy update. Do we watch it? But yeah, if you want to retire early, and I understand life in America is tough. I get it, bro. The job market's fucking tough. You got a lot of these corporations ghost adding people now. You got people in the tech industry getting laid off. Computer science isn't even a respected degree no more. Like, I understand there's a lot of chaos going on. But yeah, a lot of millennials receive money from the boomer parents, help them. Yeah, that's an American stat that I've seen before too, where it's like single adult Americans, be it men or women, will stay with their parents until they're 35 or 40 years old now, because things are getting tough. I get it. And I remember, because we were watching this, I think we did a video on this on the Endless Travel channel about this. But a lot of these kids that are living with their parents, they were hyper consuming. They weren't saving up for anything, right? They weren't, like, I remember, so I had to go back to America back in like 2021 or something like that because my mother had cancer. And I ended up staying with my sister for a while. First thing I did, save money, start paying off debt. Because I didn't know I was going to come back to Asia. I honestly thought, okay, I'm back in America. My mother's passing away. I should probably just get back to life, right? First thing I did, I was saving money. I was walking to a job. I was riding a bicycle to a job, whatever it was. And not even joking. You guys heard the old phrase, like, back in my day, I walked uphill both ways in the snow. I was literally walking to a fucking job in the snow in Vancouver, Washington for like 2 months. Didn't give a fuck. Why? Because I was trying to get my shit right. I wasn't filling my sister's house, my mother's house with a bunch of Timo boxes, right? I don't think people do this anymore. Like, they're so spoiled. And your idea, like Philip, your idea of like the whole money getting sent, this is like a Vietnam issue too. In Vietnam, they'll send their kids abroad. The kids send the money back to Vietnam. What do the parents do with it? They buy big houses and cars. And they try to impress everybody. It's so fucking twisted. So, yeah. When people say the American dream is dead, and I ask why, you never really get a good answer. And a lot of them, they just blame Trump. It's like, okay, so you are ideally the person I talk to. You are 40-some years old. Trump's been president for 5 years, and it's his fault that you can't retire. What the fuck were you doing for 38 years? You know what I'm saying? Minus like 18 years that you were a child by law, right? You weren't 18 yet. What were you doing for those 16 years? You were waiting for the government to make you rich? It's not how it works, man. It's a very weird thing, but yeah. These types of videos are weird, man. From like the Evan world. Because you get people like this, they get influenced by it. I feel bad for Kevin. He's so fucked. It's going to be a tough time for that kid. How much you really need to retire in Vietnam when you can't? This guy, this is a shill. He's not on the government payroll, but this dude is a shill for the government. This dude literally makes shit up. He goes out of his way to fucking bullshit the system. It's actually crazy. Yeah. My nose. They could improve the driving along other aspects of society, but also like they don't want to. Nah, Vietnam doesn't give a shit, dude. It's a communist country. This is what communism does, right? Cuba could be a nice country. Venezuela could have been a nice country, right? North Korea used to be a nice country until dictatorship took over. But it all started with communism, right? China used to be beautiful, right? Hong Kong was free, right? Once it gets into that big C word, everything just goes to shit. It's about money and control. All of this. Why is American traffic regulated? Because we have rules, right? Like we have rules to help each other, you know? It's not like they're trying to be dicks to everybody. And that's the thing too, like I've noticed, like, cause there's this guy, I forget his name's Sergeant Kurt or something like that. And he does these like police cam reviews on YouTube. And it's almost like everybody that gets pulled over, white, black, Asian in America, it doesn't matter. 95% of them were gonna be let go with a warning. But they end up like having cocaine in their trunk, or they attack the officer, or they start yelling at everybody. They're like, I'm a sovereign citizen, right? Like stupid shit like that. I don't know, man. Vietnam's never going to get better, like in a society way. Because, I mean, look at China. Mainland China is still uncivilized in the most part. Get out of Shanghai. It's an uncivilized nation, right? Like Cambodia is very down to earth. Like I think Cambodia and Laos are way more civilized than Vietnam. Vietnam is a zoo. The people are literal monkeys sometimes, right? It's like you're in Da Nang, you're around the tourist people. Sure, it's fine, it's whatever. Get out of there. You know, go to like the outsides of Hoi An or the west side of Da Nang or anywhere in Vietnam, and you're just gonna see feet on tables, eating with your mouth open. No basic manners, no respect towards elders. You know, they always say in Vietnam they respect their elders. No, they fucking don't. No, they don't. They do not. If they had what do you call those? Like retirement homes where you send your grandparents or whatever. If they had those in Vietnam, they would be one of the largest businesses in Vietnam. 60% of Americans have paid their mortgages. Okay. Yeah, if you had a house from like 20 years ago, bro, you're doing all right. An increased number of Americans have huge expenses in their booming stock market. Yeah, have huge exposure to their booming stock market. Yeah, this is the best time. Imagine, like, I mean, I can't for myself, but buying stock like 15, 20 years ago and having it to this day. Rich as fuck, right? You're doing good. A lot of these people did. They spent all their money on fucking PlayStation games. You know, it's crazy to me. If they're going to improve the aspect of society, then there's going to be a portion of the population waiting to leave. CJ, you're aware that's what's happening right now, right? What you're saying right now is what communism does. Vietnam has had a massive exodus of people trying to leave this country, Vietnamese people. They're trying to go to Australia, America, Canada, Malaysia. They're trying to go to Cambodia, Thailand. They're all trying to leave that country. Vietnamese don't want to be there. Because it sounds so cool to have the government take care of you until you give them all your freedom and your rights. And then you realize how shitty life is. So yeah. Now, Vietnamese are trying to, I think it was like, 2 years ago, the U.S. Embassy, the Vietnam Embassy in America, stated it was like the highest ever denunciation of Vietnamese citizens ever. in America, where Vietnamese that had green cards in America got naturalized to American citizens and gave up their Vietnamese citizenship. It was the highest ever, like 2 years ago. People are getting the fuck out. Like, look at Chinese people. They're all over the world now. Do not want to go back to China because of what's going on. Vietnam's going the same route. But Vietnam is using digital tech to their advantage. They're locking the people down. They're already starting to refuse passports for people. If you're a business owner, they're making it harder to travel. Like, you literally have to prove your taxes are paid to travel as a middle-class person in Vietnam at this point, on an airplane, domestically or internationally. It's fucking crazy what they're doing, bro. It's crazy to me. I once came across a group of people yelling at each other, like Vietnamese people. That's not abnormal. If you get a bunch of uncles drunk playing that Chinese checker shit, they'll get obnoxiously loud. Aunties, they'll start pointing their finger and like whipping around, screaming at each other. They're just not civilized in general. Yeah, American economy is strong. Like, this is the thing too. I hear a lot of people say, we just need to get rid of America. If the American economy crashed, it would destroy the world economically. Like, sorry, like, nobody has to like me for this, but everybody relies on, when the U.S. stock exchange had that massive dip during was it COVID? When did the 401k drop? Remember the 401k drop like, what, 40 or 50, 60%? Like, it was a massive drop. The entire world economically fell apart. Europe was a massive one. This is where everyone realized, this was before the UK separated, but this is where the UK started talking about, yo, we are way too reliant on American economy. They have this crash and we're fucked? Doesn't even make sense, right? And it's kind of the same thing in Vietnam. Anytime China has a massive issue, it fucks up Vietnam's economy because Vietnam's so reliant on China to that level, right? So, but yeah, America's economy is the strongest. Nobody has to like it. If America disappeared, that would not be good. Because what happens if America collapses? Who takes over? China? Islamic Sharia laws? How's the UK doing, right? How's China doing right now? How's Cuba doing? How's North Korea doing? That's the alternative. Because you don't, I don't know, man. This is just human history, but you don't take socialism or communism and just like install it and it just stays there. It's like Windows, it keeps updating forcefully, right? To a point where it turns into North Korea used to be a socialist country. It was a free nation. And they kept selling off their rights because the government was promising more shit, to the point where it became a dictatorship, to a one-party communist state, to what it is today, right? And I believe it's like, what, 2 generations back, 1 or 2 generations back, of the Yun family or whatever they're called, that actually started it, right? North Korea used to be a peaceful country. It wasn't always what it is today. And it always starts with the same pattern. Hong Kong used to be a free, independent nation. Now it's not, right? If America left, that would be devastating. On top of that, innovation. Who invents everything? Forget about race. Who invents everything? Americans. Everything China, Europe, Canada do are just like piggybacks of what we do in America. Who invented GPS? Who invented the phone? Who invented all this shit, right? Who invented peanut butter? A black dude in America, right? It's just so weird to me when people are like, down with America. Like, then what? Communist China? Islamic Sharia law? We're just going to have a bunch of oppressed women running around? A bunch of 9-year-old children getting forcibly married to men? Like, what do you guys want? Was that too far? It's in the Quran. Don't get angry at me. But it's just a weird thing. When I hear people say, down with America, why? I understand there's bad parts of America. I truly understand that there are imperfections. I get it. But right now, it's the best thing we fucking got. So all we can do right now is live with it and approve it and vote. Because that's something we can do. We can vote. We can make a stand, right? Everybody hated Orange Man, but he made it in office. Why? Because the people spoke. It's that simple. This is what we do in America, you know? We had the emancipation. Some Americans were like, slavery is bad. We don't want to be like Africa. We need to end this shit. right? The UK, or Europe, I guess at the time, in America ended slavery. How? By voting in war, right? Well, when was the last civil war in America? It ended slavery and it kind of economically balanced America, right? When was the last civil war in Vietnam? It was the Vietnam War, right? What happened? It was a dictator takeover of the South by force, right? Research Miss Saigon and see what happened to her husband. He used to be the president of South Vietnam. It's an interesting story, right? But this stuff isn't talked about. Remember the unification of China? How did that work? Oh, get rid of 80 million Chinese people by force, right? It's just a crazy thing. So what is the alternative? There is none. We don't know one yet. But I don't know, nobody likes to hear that kind of stuff because it's racist or something weird. Yeah, American economy, yeah, it is strong. It's one of the strongest. And other countries that have strong economies, look at who they depend on. Vietnam's economy, and you guys have heard this, right? Vietnam's economy is so strong it's going to surpass Thailand, right? Why? Why? Because of America. America buying. On top of that, China, right? You got a bunch of Chinese FDIs and shit like that, right? You have Korea FDIs in Vietnam, which are raising their GDP. Who are these Korean companies? Samsung, LGs, all these Chinese companies. Who are they selling to? America, right? So you got all these FDI countries, Singapore, Japan is a big one recently, Taiwan with Foxconn. All these different countries are buying land in Vietnam to raise the GDP of Vietnam, right? To make products to sell to who? Again, if America became a minimalist nation, like everyone just became minimalist, it would destroy the economy of the world. America would be fine. Honestly, America would be fine with less shit everywhere. You don't need a new fucking Blu-ray player every year, right? Just deal with what you got. It works. Enjoy it, right? But if America did that, China would collapse, Vietnam would collapse, Philippines would fucking fall backwards, right? Russia would collapse. Russia heavily depends on China. Where does China get most of its money? America investments, right? It's an interesting thing. But again, this is like the micro and the macroeconomics of this stuff. This is things people don't want to talk about. So when I hear people say American government needs to collapse and the economy needs to stop ruining the world, what part? What do we get rid of? Let's see what happens, right? It's weird to me. It's weird to me. But yeah, America's getting hard. I'm not saying it's not, but to say it's the worst place, no. To say the American dream is dead, like Evan's saying, Evan's not even an American. He couldn't even hack it. He went to California or some shit trying to get a job. He couldn't even hack it in California. He's a washout, right? People like Army guy travel, washouts, right? Some enlisted Army dude. You know, people are like, David, he's in the military, respect him. Fuck all that. I'm in the military too. If we were both in active duty right now, he'd be saluting me. I respect military. I respect the Army and the Marines the most because they put their lives on the line for what they got to do, right? I get that. Special forces, stuff like that, I get that. But when you run around obese, bald-headed, talking shit, acting like a retard, I'm going to have to call you a retard. It's crazy to me. I'm just rambling. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Let's take that, let's take that, let's take that. Oh, shit. All kinds of messages coming in. There it is. Just one of those days when I want to be all alone. You guys remember that song? Anyways. 60% of homeowners have paid their mortgage. Yeah, I believe that. American economy, great job numbers today. Expectations that Fed to raise interest rates now to fight inflation. Yeah, like things are weird in America. Again, not saying America's perfect. It's gotten the best like time, but things are getting weird. Automation's doing like I just did a video a couple days ago about AI, like job takeovers and stuff. It's getting rough. You know, a lot of these tech companies are laying off tens of thousands of people. Where do these tens of thousands of people go? They get unemployment for a while, right? And then they go take like an entry level job. But a lot of these entry, like this is the thing too. I was talking to a friend of mine that lives out in Portland, and I was asking like Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., all these fast food restaurants. What's the demographic of employees like flipping burgers and shit? They're like, dude, they're all like 25, 30-year-olds with like degrees. They got laid off or fired from their job. Now they're just flipping burgers to make money, right? This is what's happening. I remember growing up, working at McDonald's was something a kid did in high school for like, so you could have some extra money because mom didn't want to give us money for candy, right? Stuff like that. Now it's becoming a career choice because people are losing their shit. But that's the thing too. When you think about how bad the economy is in America for like the job market, it's 20, 50, 70% worse than Vietnam. It's way worse than Thailand right now. It's horribly bad in Japan, right? China, I hear, you're not allowed to hear this stuff, but their unemployment is at something like 45 to 60%. There's a massive window, but it's massive, right? America's at what? They say 3 to 5%. I would say it's probably like 10%. Let's just round up worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is still nowhere near Vietnam or China. And this is the thing too, is in America, when we have AI or tech that takes jobs, we can readapt, we can learn a new skill. We have the opportunity to kind of do that if we choose to, maybe, right? It's not always the case, but maybe. Vietnamese people don't. They went to a communist education that told them to worship the leaders, and this is how you farm. Now shut the fuck up and farm. But when there's no more farms, they're like, what do I do, George? Right? And then they're brain dead on TikTok all day, right? So now they're brain dead, skillless, jobless. The number one job that you do in Vietnam is a delivery driver. You deliver food. But who buys food when everyone's a delivery driver, right? It's a weird concept. But Americans could start, wait, I just missed something. I once came across a large group. I saw somebody put something about fish. Oh, here it is. Americans could start homesteads and live off. Americans are fine, bro. We are the problem. If I had to pick a problem with Americans, it's overconsumption. We just consume too much shit. Products. Stop. Americans, stop. Minimalism. Let's get with it. And I don't mean like living with 2 shirts and that the extreme, but just like buy what you need and live with what you got, right? If we did that, that would put Asia on its back. Economically, for one, and it would put America back where it needs to be, right? Because we are a strong nation. Happy 250. Yeah, living on land. I mean, a lot of Americans already do. They got their little, their tomato plants and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. Minimum wage is a joke. What is it like? I remember Seattle was the first place to do it. It was like $15 an hour was the minimum wage, and just like fucked like you go get a Whopper at Burger King and it was like $12 or some dumb shit. What is this?
It's Turkey. What?
Do you guys see this? 21 foreigners deported for illegally. Wait, I thought borders were illegal. Why did they deport those 21 illegals for entering illegally? CNN told me that this is racist and we need to give them rights and housing. Sarcasm.
And severe crops. It's been copied from
Thailand 2.0. I love how this guy is a shill. Like this, I don't even know what this guy lawyers. He's not going to be a lawyer for long. He's pretty much losing all his rights. Just for shits. Vietnamese citizen lawyers licensed to spend up to 9 months. Viet Q overseas practicing in Vietnam up to 3 months. What triggers this decree? Conduct of obstruction of state agencies in performing duty. So if a government decides to take land from a family and a lawyer tries to defend it, this triggers this. I'm going to tell you what the trigger means in a minute. Insulting officials, acts of delay of administration or processes. So again, if the government's trying to do something and a lawyer's delaying the process because they want to fight back or question it, this could trigger this. We'll talk about that in a minute. Failing to comply with summons or requests, authorities deemed contrary to party demands. So what Decree 109 mean? Decree 109 ideally silences the lawyers. I like how I put that right there. So if you are a Vietnamese citizen, you own a land, right? Your mother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-grandmother passed this farm to you. And the government's like, hey, we're going to restation this property because we need it for a project, FDI project. We want to turn it into a highway. We just want to take it from you because fuck you, right? And the family's like, oh no, in Vietnam, you can't own land. So the government's going to give you a stipend amount of money, which is usually extremely low value compared to what the real value is, based off the 2018 price charts that they use. Now the Vietnamese will be like, all right, let's call a lawyer and fight this. Let's get more money, right? The government can immediately shut the lawyer down for delaying the process, right? So people like Ken can't even practice law anymore. Like he's an overpaid secretary at this point, because if he does anything against it, it's going to get him shut. Decree 88 puts education data on VND. 165, health data is on the VNEID. 102 controls business mergers and competition. 282, sanctioned speech against authorities. What is that called? Sanctioned speech against authority. So if I say F Joe Biden, F Trump, whatever. Not here. 219 tightens the foreign worker. This is what destroyed teaching jobs. 337 centralizes employment contracts. So if you get a job in Vietnam, it needs to be registered via VNEID. And now Decree 109 shuts the lawyer off. This is what we call dystopia. Anyways, what is this tool going to talk about?
But someone has to say it.
Yeah, look at it. 3-on-1. Vietnamese are like so uncivilized when they fight. They're just like cat fighting. It's funny.
But in chaos, let's wrap this behavior.
Yeah, see, they just all stand around like fucking idiots. Hey, what's going on, George? See, this gang shooting wasn't a gang shooting, it was a mafia-based cartel thing. Also, one of the members was a Vietnamese Australian. Why don't they talk about that? Like, just to kind of give you my thoughts. So this guy is the one that Army guy defends. Like, he's against, I guess. But Army's also not a very smart human. This one is stupid. 100%. I don't agree with this. Why are you robbing a broke-ass country's jewelry store? Yeah, this was an Australian mafia thing. Just happened to be. It could have happened anywhere. Vietnam reaches the target of welcoming foreign visitors. Most of these visitors are Chinese. I'm sure he doesn't say that.
Tourists by 2020.
Yeah, and if we look at this, like, because I want to give you guys the facts on this too. This isn't a bunch of white people coming here. Tourist numbers by nations in 2025, 2020. Let's look at 2026, right? What we got so far. But, oops, sorry. I hope this makes a little sense though. This is a dystopia combination right here. Number one, China. The Chinese come to visit South Korea, Taiwan, Japan. United States comes up at top number 5, then Malaysia, Russia, of course. And then you get Australia, then you get Thailand, Singapore. You see what I'm saying? UK, Canada, 14 and 15. Like, America is the first Western country. Yeah, it's just America and Australia in the top 10. So 80% of the countries are Asians, right? And China's the big one. So when he talks about international, these numbers, these are mostly Chinese. Also, the way that Vietnam deals with their tourism, this is international, which is fine, but they also have domestic tourism. Domestic tourism this year is already up like 300%. It's up a massive number.
To over 21 million.
Yep. And they also raised the tax windows, and now they have PIT tax for Vietnamese. Even small shop vendors have to do now. That start July 1st. So all of this growth money is just going to get taxed, which is unfortunate. And the tax is high too. Why wouldn't you just say Russians? No shit. Welcome to human nature. Nah, see, how is this guy a fucking lawyer? He is so dumb. He is so dumb. Vietnam has historically been a friend of Russia. It always has been. It always has been. Russians and Ukrainians can get a work permit or a residency card in Vietnam probably some of the easiest next to the cute people. When you go to like places like Nha Trang, majority of the Russians there are citizens of Vietnam because of the Cold War. This guy is so dumb. And he's Vietnamese too, and he's a lawyer.
Vietnam completely exploded. 194% of Vietnam.
Good. This is good for Vietnam. Tourism, stupid. There's also direct flights from the train, I believe. No, I think it's Da Nang to Moscow, if I'm not mistaken. Good.
Of 2026.
What do you think he's going to say? Oh! 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 They do a visa run. What does Will Travel do? What does Evan promote? What does Travis do? What does Enoch do? What does Kevin do? What does Army Guy do? If there was a Islamic dilemma for Vietnam, this is it right here. Oh my God.
Country and a
I'm curious, what are the people saying in the comments? Like, visa run. Nobody's talking about it. Maybe they're calling it border. Nobody's talking about this. You see what I'm saying? Like, why isn't this being questioned? It's going to be hilarious when Vietnam finally just shuts the door. These people are fucked. It's been a second home. You don't look Vietnamese, dude. See, all these people just live. Hey, it's that misinformed troll that married a 19-year-old and now knows everything about Vietnam. This guy came after me personally one time. It was actually funny. Downvote. That's interesting, though. He literally just said the problem with Russians is they do visa runs. This is literally what all the Western people do. And when you look at like the numbers of tourism, right? Again, 20%, 25% are Chinese, right? Look at these numbers. China, South Korea, Oh, CJ's on the delete comment rant. I'm getting to him. Hold on, guys. Anyways, Chinese, South Korean, Taiwan, Japanese. These guys only come here for like 2 or 3 weeks. They spend $3,000-$4,000 and they go back home. It's a vacation for them. The ones that are doing visa runs are Americans, Australians, UK, Canadians mostly, right? And then you're going to get Russia in there, sure. That's a big number too. 239% almost. That's massive. Who gives a fuck? You know what? Russia is a communist state. The USSR was a communist-based state. So is Ukraine, kind of. Guess what Vietnam is? This is the same fucking thing. Vietnam's government considers Russia a brother in arms. This is what their president has said. The last two have said. I just like how he called out visa runners.
I for 98
And this is the same thing. This is what all these people sell. These Evans and all these people. This is what they sell. They sell this dream. Oh, it's gonna be bittersweet when these guys are all having to go back home.
without ever getting further work visas or residency cards.
What else?
Easy visas, bad behavior, then a government practice.
This Ken Dole guy's an idiot. Even his business in America we found was not real. We found his Singapore location was a paid PO box. Like, how is this guy a lawyer? The fact that he has all these people, can I rub your balls, Ken? Do the same like, see, this is what Thailand, Thailand is an interesting story. It wasn't so much what Ken's saying, because Ken, again, is not a very smart human being. The bigger problem in Thailand were the Chinese and the Indian tourists, that they were pretty much going there en masse, right? When it comes to like the tourist thing, the second big issue, there's 3 main ones, I guess. The second big issue is they created the DTVs and the elite visas, but they didn't really create the entry acceptance of it. So they started getting people paid, you know, the $3,000-$4,000 to get a DTV, which is a 5-year tourist visa. Then they go there and they work on the DTV, which you can't, it's illegal, it's a tourist visa, right? So they had to step back and fix that. Like, what do we do? So now if you go to Thailand, you have a DTV visa or you have an elite visa, they make you re-verify your income or your money saved. Every time I enter, I have to revalidate my checking account to them visually, right? The third issue is the prime minister got kicked out for questionable treasonable actions, which also delayed the whole immigration process by like, it was something like 8 months or some shit like that. And then when the new prime minister came in, he wanted to do something different because they wanted to raise tourism. And they started talking about opening casinos in Bangkok, right? So it's a big mess, but to compare Vietnam's tourism to Thailand as the same problem, no. It is 2 different fucking categories of issues. The problem with Thailand, it was poor planning and an influx of Chinese and Indians. I know everybody wants to hate on the Indians, but when you have hundreds of thousands of them going there on DTVs, never leaving, and Chinese people doing the same, and if I'm not mistaken, Thailand is the second largest, or the second country in the world that has the most Chinese people living there, next to China itself. There's more Chinese in Thailand than there are in Taiwan as a country, right? So it's kind of an interesting little back push on there. But to compare the visa of Thailand to Vietnam, it's not the same thing, dude. Fiji. America doesn't have a visa exception. I know the UK does. Turkey. Yeah, America doesn't have that.
30 or 15 days.
Oh, that's Thailand. Okay, okay, fair enough. You should look at the locals and how they act towards each other. Oh, now he's going to speak for Thailand.
Thailand tightened its visa rules in order to stop foreign criminals.
What color is that person? He looks like a person of color, an Indian probably. He's trying to compare two different things. Decree 59, yeah, we've already talked about. Decree 59 just means if you overstay your visa, what do? It was an administrative update. Like this lawyer doesn't even understand Vietnam immigration laws. But you guys are going to pay him money to do something for you about immigration? You might as well go to fucking McDonald's and hire them. You'd probably get a better result. And their address might be real, unlike this guy's. And that's the thing too, like what are you talking about? Like, let's look real quick. Let's go to his website. Because we found this interesting. We were investigating this like 5 or 6 months ago. Where'd it go? Yeah, so if we pull this up, this address, so we actually contacted this building directly to inquire about this business. And we also found that his business is delinquent. So if we pull this up, see right here, it's like a rental joint where you rent an office, a digital office. It's pretty much for tax evasion, per se. Or if it's somebody doing like offset stuff. It's all these places are. So where does it say anything on this building? You see, it's not even like identified as anything. This is where Ken's office is. It's not real. It is a digital thing. Then when you go to Singapore, it gets worse. And we had somebody in Singapore that actually went to this office directly, which was very lucky of us. But when they tried to go into Ken's office, it was empty. There was nothing there. So unless I'm wrong, if my friend was wrong, it's a shopping center, right? Oh, now he's got one in Bangkok, huh? Like when a lawyer has practice in like 20 different fucking countries, something's wrong. The address doesn't even work. Does his Vietnam office at least look real? Because that's where he sits all day, right? Pizza 4. Yeah, man, like I don't understand why people pay this guy. He could go after me for slander all day. But it doesn't make sense, dude. It just doesn't make sense. He's not a smart person, it seems like. Oh, he has legal advice now.
Find out if you are legal.
Oh, where's he taking his food?
It's putting a massive
Nope. Again, the labor contracts are all through VinEID. Starting a business in Vietnam is very risky. I would not call this lawyer for that. I would actually talk to a real lawyer. But you need to go through a pretty good process. Also, when you contact a lawyer, they should have an accountant that you can have with you. What is that word? Retainer. Oh, they should have an accountant in their law firm that's on retainer for you at all times. So if you get audited, you can contact a lawyer, their accountant can take care of shit for you. You do not want to hire random people when the government audits you. Every time you're audited by the Vietnamese government, it's $1,000 fine. You want to have your shit on point. You don't want to just hire a brand new person to have to spend days or weeks researching your company to figure out what the fuck is going on and then defend you blindly.
license
And the whole e-visa thing, you can't get off of the visa run thing unless you're willing to marry somebody for some reason and put yourself into the system or get a job in Vietnam. It's going to be hard. Again, starting a business in Vietnam is not easy. It is actually extremely, I've opened 2 of them. It is overly challenging. The bureaucracy is out of control. The taxes are just butt fuck sideways. They just started the TIP system, which is an independent tax system. So even business owners have to file separately on this. It's a mess. So be careful. Again, talk to a lawyer way before you plan on like doing, don't think like I'm going to go to Vietnam, get a tourist visa and then figure out the business plan then. You need to be planning this in advance. You need to be.
If you are driving, do not rely on the whole country drivers.
You can't. I would not watch his video on driving legally because he probably doesn't even know what the fuck that is either. If you are in Vietnam as a tourist, you can take your driver's license of a car to a, they have, I forgot the name of them, Saigon, Hanoi, and Da Nang have them. But they will, it costs right about $20. They will, after a couple of days, give you a Vietnamese driver's license. It expires when your tourist visa does. This is only for a car. The motorbike you cannot do. You have to have a TRC. You have to. There is no way around it no more. So whatever his video is, I just told it to you in 12 seconds. And he's probably just making shit up and saying stupid puns. What a horrible fucking...
They,
Communism is finally taking its grip. That's a better way to say this. Strongly recommend you don't do that. Like, find a real lawyer. There's so many lawyers in Saigon because Saigon deals with a lot of FDI. So there's large firms, there's small firms. I do not recommend contacting a lawyer on YouTube because you should do your research. And I've just showed you his offices are not real. His American and Singapore one are not actually apparently real. They're in shopping centers. And all his videos are about fucking random shit. Eat, China invasions, street food. Like, what does he even practice law in? His videos are so vague. Massages. Where to get a massage? Airport chaos. He's got like sexy girls on here. Like, the fuck is this guy? And people pay these people. I should be a lawyer. Anyways, let me get, I missed 60 cents. With higher minimum wage, McDonald's. Yeah. But that's why you're starting to see, like I think I said this earlier, like a lot of the people that work in these fast food jobs are no longer high school kids. They're adults with degrees. They drive Ubers or they start. Most girls in Asia do that. Like in Vietnam, well, not Asia, in Vietnam and China, they do that. They pretty much start a light version of OF. Lots of my friends stop working and just trade stocks and crypto. It can do good if you have money. I wouldn't start with nothing. Once you have a little capital, it's never been easier to print money online. Yeah, as long as you play the cards right, man. It's not hard. It's actually very fucking easy. It's just you gotta play it right? Oh man, this guy's a tool. Yeah, like just looking at his channels, like what does he even talk about? It's so weird. Vietnam, is there anything new before we get out of her? Full price list. Okay. I'm starting to see a lot of these poverty. I call it poverty porn. Like this is what like Army Guy and like Will Travel do. They do poverty porn. Like how to live rich in a poor country while you have little money. I'm starting to see Vietnamese do this now. And it's taken 3 days, 100K. Like the shit's taking off. Ironic. How we found an apartment in Vietnam. Hobo? Is this a Thai girl? What is that? You're getting robbed. America's healthcare system isn't broken, it's just expensive. Imagine going to a third world country, paying less for something. Retire, okay. Is that a ninja? Dating changes. Would not take dating advice. Black in Vietnam. Dang. Let's see. I'm having fun today, guys. Hopefully you are too. Yeah, it's kind of just, it's the same like circle jerk of people. I hope they're traveling, not living there. Yeah, let's see what these are.
So I asked the front desk lady for a request list for.
What hospital is this? 199 hospital. It's communist. Just like numbers. Where are they? Is this Saigon? Da Nang. I've never heard of this hospital. What's up, Tony? Food poisoning. Welcome to Vietnam. Interesting. I've never heard of this hospital. Is this an international one? I like that they use a communist name, though. Well, what I mean by this, everything's numbers. Like 400 staff to one and the customer still has to. It's like the banks in Vietnam. If you go to a bank, there'll be like 90 fucking staff members in there, and 2 customers will be waiting 20 minutes. That's weird. Look, that's a weird set. It seems like a ghetto garage dentist. This is like, okay, so this is like an upper class Vietnamese hospital. This isn't like an international. This shit's so unhealthy, Yakult, that Japanese stuff. Yeah, that looks about right. Like, they need to watch their kids. You be seeing that shit a lot. COVID. You remember when they told you this was real? Oh shit, that's cool. Yeah, it looks like an upper class Vietnamese hospital. Like even their staff is, like if you go to Da Nang International, you'll get a good mix of foreigners in there. FE Hospital, same thing. Like foreign doctors, I mean. That dude's haircut needs to like go on vacation. Yeah, so it's like a Vietnamese hospital is what this is. Okay. The fuck? That green carpet shit. Yeah, this is fully Vietnamese. What's up, Tony? This is actually illegal as fuck, too. It is actually extremely illegal to report in a hospital. Medical tourism unit. Interesting. Oh, there's some foreigners in there. Okay. I do not give a fuck. Get to the point! Da Nang's healthcare is actually pretty rough. You think that's bad? You should see Vietnamese minimum wage and throw you sideways.
Pretty expensive.
Again, if you're gonna go to a third world country with USD, it's gonna be cheap, guys. Oh, here we go.
Which is $11.40. The full limit.
Okay. Like, think of this again, the average income for, like, I want us to look at this in a Vietnamese perspective. Obviously, and I'm gonna say this again, if you go to Vietnam with, I need to fix the camera. If you go to Vietnam with USD, medical is going to be extremely cheap. This is no shit. Right? However, as a Vietnamese person, it's gonna be different. Does that work? That's fine. Let me see. Give me a sec here. Give me a sec here. I think I can get a better camera now. Make my hair look better. No. Yeah. What's up, guys? What happened? Refresh. There we go. All right. A little too close. Every time I zoom, it like freezes. Okay. Let's try that. Refresh. Refresh. Are you serious right now? All right. That's crazy. Refresh. Sorry. I can't win. Hey, there it is. All right. We'll see how that works. But yeah, remember that the minimum wage is in Vietnam, the monthly income is about $250, right? So if you have to pay $12 just to even see a doctor, this is already eating the shit out of a Vietnamese person. So, and the reason for this example, the thought exercise is, in America, healthcare is expensive. Canada, sure, I guess it's free, but it sucks. You know, all these Western countries is expensive, sure. But when you compare the hourly wage to what it costs to do what you need to do, for Vietnamese, it's out of control expensive too, right? So $12 for just to see a doctor. Can I see any of this? YouTube zooming is like low IQ. What if we do this? Screenshot. Gallery. Let's try this. There we go. Consultation 300K. That's insane. Left to right. Water, K and C1. 40. So you just get bagged up. 45K. What are some shit that we would do? Oh, these are different, like blood tests. Blood works. HCV, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, okay, here it is. So 2.6 million VND. So about $110 gets all this shit done, right? Which is fine. Again, it's very cheap. But if you're going to be a local person, you're not affording this shit.
1.4 million.
Damn. 4.7. No, what is this total right here? 4.7. 470,123 VNDC USD. 178. What is that 178 right there? It says total. She's pregnant? Ultrasound?
2,760,000.
An HPV test. Jesus, dude. 1.1. STI test, 75. Yeah, like this stuff isn't that bad, but again, for a Vietnamese person to pay for that, not happening, bro. Seems cheaper than I heard the Philippines is expensive. Excelente. What is this
Common
about?
question we get is how do you find around the world?
In this video,
Around a wall. Oh, she has like a black tooth back there. Look at that. What is that? I thought dental was cheap in Vietnam. David's an asshole. Ha! Ha! I'm so hungry. Dang. Initial arrival. Hold on there. All right, cancel that. We good. Oh, we good, bro. All right, cool. We're moving to a new country, book short stay, searching for rental. Yeah, this is all normal. What is this? Thinking about retiring, Thailand versus Cambodia. Like the immediate problem I see is you can't retire in Vietnam. They do have a retirement visa in Thailand, which is nice, right? Is the camera looking down? I don't know. Oh, it looks fine. Okay. Cost of living. Vietnam is a clear winner for those looking for stretch their retirement income. Sure. Healthcare. Thailand's preferred. Yeah. Thailand's healthcare is always is referred to when things get serious in Vietnam. Like if you have a serious thing, they will usually send you to Bangkok. Da Nang excels in promoting healthy. I thought he said Vietnam. He went straight to Da Nang, as they all do. So he's comparing Da Nang to the entire country of Thailand. I'm confused. Thailand remains the winner long term, as well-defined pathways for retirement. Yeah, Evie says where Vietnam lacks a clear. I mean, they don't lack a clear. They don't have. There is no way to like retire. No, sure. No, sure. Make the jump. Blah blah. Okay, okay. Interesting.
Welcome to sunny Da Nang Beach on Da Nang, Vietnam.
Look at all those fucking taxis.
Stadium and head back to Thailand tonight. I thought I'd make a quick trip
They're not working on it. The thing about this, and this is something that Ken said a long time ago, that lawyer, which was actually true, finally something, right? Is Vietnam's economic status is not at a point where they can sufficiently afford to have retirees in Vietnam. that are outside, because when a foreigner comes here to retire, they don't really provide a lot. There's also not a tax system on them. In Thailand, if your pension can be taxed in Thailand. So if you're getting like X dollars sent to your pension in Thailand, they will tax you for 35%. Vietnam doesn't have any of this stuff already. They just can't afford it, man. There's no value to have. Even the whole getting married in Vietnam, getting that TRC, they've even cut that down. It used to be 5 to 10 years. Now it's 2 to 3 years, right? Because there's no value in it for them.
Clear and so easy, but long term, it's not gonna happen. So that's the last. I know they have a bigger turnout. For 50 years ago,
I thought it was 55. Interesting. Okay. I think we're good there. I guess before we get out of here, I'm so hungry. Today is Saturday. Dude about to get COVID. You got a bat in his room. Dragon Hill. Okay. I think this is normal. Thailand's having the same issue on this bottom area too. Huh, interesting. I believe Australia, Vietnam has a double tax. Yeah, some of the countries do. I think it was you or somebody else saying something like that. Like, because I know an American in Thailand, if they retire, if let's say their pension's taxed 25%, Thailand only taxes at 10 more percent. I think the tax is stupid, but it also, you know, the cost of living is cheaper. So it might not be so bad. Spoiler. Story of this place. Looks like it's not even finished. School teachers, ooh, school teachers in Vietnam. But yeah, these are things that you want to talk to a lawyer about. Like, if you're going to retire in a country or sell all your stuff to move to a country, it's definitely worth the time to research these types of things. Like, how long can I stay? What is the work opportunities? What is healthcare like for an older person? Do I have preconditioned things? Am I single or not? Do I want to get married? What if I do? What does that mean? What is the culture of a marriage? And, you know, getting married in Australia to an Australian versus marrying like a Vietnamese woman in Vietnam are two different worlds, right? Like, these things that should be understood. So yeah, definitely looking into it. Is worth the investigation. Another one. Forget about the foreigner. Look at the driver. These people are in public danger. What is this? Oh, it was a truck. Oh, hold on. Sorry. This is very common. Investigation case: foreigner vandalized a truck and attacked the driver. This is like the retirement. This is where like the people retire. It's like the hidden spot. That's the case which a foreigner blocked the front of a tractor trailer, used a metal bar to smash it, and attacked the driver. Why? Mr. Win. This guy's got a unique name. They gave his plate number, his full name, and date of birth. India would have a field day with this article. I was driving on when stopped by a man believed to be a foreigner on a motorbike. The man then approached the driver's door, which appeared to be long. I don't get it. Da Nang. What the fuck is this? I'm confused. I'm actually confused. Why did he just randomly attack the truck? These truck people are usually. Is this like? Do you guys know? Is it VTC? This is a Vietnamese government agency. I'm confused right now. The trailer driver, of course, doesn't remember probably almost killing the moped rider. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I know foreigners can get a little crazy, but this guy doesn't seem like he's drunk. I think that's him right here, right? Look at this. The Vietnamese dude's on his phone driving. He's not even looking at the road. Look. Just texting on his phone, looking at TikTok or some shit. Still, he hasn't looked at the road in 6 seconds. Still has his phone in his hand. Went back for his phone. I mean, I get he's probably trying to call the police, but it was funny though. I must record. Yeah, this Vietnamese dude had to have done something. I can hear it now. Is there sound? No. Yeah, he doesn't even seem drunk or anything. He just seems something. This is weird. Like, he's not aggressive either. He's kind of just standing there like, what the fuck, dude? But I don't know. Like, attack somebody with a metal steel pipe is pretty intense. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know if you guys know something about that. And this last sentence makes no sense. The reason was because he heard his girlfriend say he had a conflict with a compadre at Da Nang. This is very far south of Da Nang. This sounds like propaganda. I'm so confused. Definitely on the side of the driver, but my mind is think like all the possible reasons and outcomes. A crazy foreigner. I don't think this guy was like random. He wasn't drunk. The foreigner attacked the truck driver. He tried to run him over 5 times while scrolling on his phone on the opposite side of the road. Yeah. Seriously. Like, as soon as we saw the video, the first thing you see is he's on his phone. Yeah, scenario 1, highly unlikely. And that's the thing, too. Like, I'm not defending foreigners that do bad things, but when there's foreigners attacking drivers when they're sober, like, it's usually the Vietnamese fault. It's usually always their fault. So in a civilized first world country, I'm supposed to carry a metal rod around wherever I go. So that, see, these guys take it so out of rank. I don't read the article, but let me guess. He's Russian. He's Russian Australian. See, this is a problem with these people. I didn't read the article, but let me just get to racism. I just saw another tower get exploded. Let me guess, he's from where? Like, I don't get this stuff, man. We Americans get blamed for nowadays, rightfully, reminds me of Thailand when locals are committing heinous crimes like trafficking and scamming. Certain me country is trying to take over certain islands, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, people are mad because we are loud and so-called occasionally fighting. Yes, sometimes we do commit actual crimes, but the large happen within, yeah. Yeah, this is interesting. I like how they're attacking him because he's Russian. It's gonna be such a nice day when like they just deport everybody. All foreigners, get out of Vietnam. Let Vietnam collapse on its own. You don't see Americans and Russians and shit living in Cuba doing YouTube videos on how to retire in Cuba. Like, just let all these people leave and let Vietnam collapse on its own. That's such a weird thing. Mosquito bite help. I just got one today. Peptides. Anybody wants steroids? I'm passing my shit off. Yeah, let me just take your random drugs, bro. That's a war helmet from North Vietnam. That's the Incendio right there. Whoa. The Ginsu knife. Oh, this was interesting. I heard about this. I think it was in Saigon. Some Vietnamese dude was going around stabbing kids with a knife, and they used a fire extinguisher to stop him. Yeah, there he is. Like, he was going around stabbing people randomly, but we don't talk about that. We're worried about the guy on the motorbike that got ran over and slapped the taxi driver. Forget about the 6 kids that were stabbed to death, right? Dude, the camera's way too close. Yeah. Oh my God. But living in abroad. Yeah. Yeah. These are like just the tax stuff. You should, people that, if you're trying to retire, definitely want to do the research. I'm a software developer who worked on legal systems in the US. I'm retiring to Vietnam. You can't sue, but I do want to do something as a hobby, as a part-time job to keep me busy. Cool. Does anyone know what state of software legal industry in Vietnam? That's a weird question. It's a weird question. SpaceX. Dude, we're buying so much of that shit. We're gonna get rich, baby. Gonna get rich off Tesla and SpaceX, right? All right, so I think that's kind of it today, guys. I've covered what we need to, I guess. I was just kind of hanging out with Joe. I got a lot to do today, unfortunately. My days never end. I'm still recovering, dude. The gym stuff has been killing me. So I'm gonna get out. Hopefully you guys learned something out here. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did. If you were half white, you'd be perfect. That's crazy. Jesus. Dude, man, I'm telling you, bro. Vietnam, China be crazy with this shit. But yeah, so I'm going to get out, guys. If you have any questions, definitely check them out. Patreon, I've been trying to post a little more about the Vietnam updates. And check out the Endless Travel channel. I think there's another video coming up tomorrow. It's exciting. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy your time being on my live. The time is ticking. July 1st is going to be an interesting time. So that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again. Ni hao.
Oh, show me up, wake me up, don't wake me up. Southeast Asia's got my soul in a rush. From the jungles to the streets, I'm alive in the scene. Let me stay in this moment, living my dream. I'm rolling through Bangkok, lights flash in the night. Tuk-tuks and markets, yeah, it's feeling so right. Got my pack on my back, Chiang Mai's calling my name. Lanterns in the sky, yo, I'm caught in the flame. Bali's rice terraces, green as far as I see. Ubud's monkey forest, got my spirit running free. Sipping Bia Hoi and Hunter, streets alive with the sound. Every corner's a vibe, yo, my heart's unbound. Kopangan's full moon, dancing under the stars. Sand in my toes, no cares, just bars. From Siem Reap's temples to the Mekong's flow. This journey's my high, don't let it go. Don't wake me up, 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 up. Southeast Asia's got my heart